Well, I thought we'd just have a quick look at the maize clamp. I've used up quite a lot of the maize now, and if you can see down here, I'm just walking down to the nearly the back of the clamp now. What we've done this year, which is the first time we've done it, we've only actually gone back on one half of the clamp, and you can see there I'm nearly at the back of the clamp, and you can see this side there's still maize all the way nearly to the front. And then we come back to, you can have a look at the maize here. Maize silage. There we go. Crumbly. You can see the corn in it. I'm going to have to take the bales off the back there and the sheet off the back in a minute. But the reason I've only used half of the clamp is because I found that when we were trying to feed all the way across, you know, use maize from all the way the front of the clamp all the way across, it would go mouldy too quickly. Couldn't use it quick enough. So what we've done, we've left half of it, and if you see this half, you can see it's got quite a thick crust of mould on it now, which is a problem when you open up maize clamps. They do start going secondary fermentation and mould on the front. But the good thing about this is it's basically formed a crust, and if I pick that off, it's like a bit like picking a scab off. Underneath, the maize will be completely fresh. So what I shall do is when we've run out of the back on this side, I shall just take off that mouldy front there, and then we'll go back steadily backwards all the way back and use this side of the clamp. In fact, I'll get a fork and I'll just pick off a bit and show you. Well, I've actually forked in further than I thought, and it's actually decomposing a little bit quicker than I thought. You can see the steam off it. That's obviously where it's breaking down and releasing heat energy. So I'm going to have to take off a little bit more rot than I thought, which is unfortunate because obviously this costs money, and that's going out with the muck. But behind there, I would have thought fairly quickly I would get into some good maize silage at some point. So it's like a cap. It's still like a cap. It's just a bit deeper than I thought. I'll be opening that up in the next week, I would have thought, because I've only got a little bit left there. Anyway, I'm just going to take the bales off that bit now. There we go. You can see the half that I haven't opened. A bit less than half actually, because the dividing line is that steel girder there. And there's the half. It's looking good fresh silage though, maize silage. So I'm just going to take those bales off there now. So I've just got the sheet cut off now. Take that last bale out. So I'm just going to get my trusty penknife out and cut that bit off and see what's underneath. There'll probably be a bit of rot on the shoulders where it's hard to compact with the tractor tyre. Well, I'm just going to take the sheet off now, I've cut it. Let's see what's underneath. That'll go for recycling later. I'll pack that away for recycling. Let's have a quick look. I'll pick up the camera. Let's have a quick look at what we got left then. So you can see here at the front, the silage underneath the sheet isn't that much different from at the front. It's quite sort of yellowy brown, preserved quite well. But what you've got here, which is hard to see in this light, but it's basically gone very rotten in the corners. and I put my foot down in it, it's all, and here again at the back. Now the reason for that, really, it's always the same. What you get is the mould forming on the back bits here, what we call the shoulders on the edges, because the tractor tyres, which compress the silage when you're making it, they can't get that close to the edge, because you see obviously there's a wall there and a wall here. You can't get your vehicle that close because he's got a loader bucket on the front, so he can't get in too close here. So these don't get compacted in the same way, and so the silage tends to go mouldy. So on my job now, which is not the best job in the world, get my fork out, and I've got to fork all that muck off, because that'll be going out with the muck. Great. Obviously the cows won't eat this stuff because it's basically started decomposing. So this is all stuff that isn't going to be any good for cattle feed. Now if you look here, can you see that? I've forked that bit out. Horrible white mould on it. And here's the really black, disgusting stuff. So carry on forking. Well, I think that's it now. I've pretty well got off all the rotten maize off the top. I mean, you can see here it's looking quite a lot better than it did earlier, and you can see down there a big pile of rotten mouldy maize. Not all that's old rotten stuff, but the trouble is when you're forking it off you do get mixed up with some of the good, but it's got to go because the cattle won't eat it. I imagine it doesn't taste very healthy. So you can see there, that's the big pile, so I'll scrape that out. I'm just going to move that black plastic now. You can see the rest of the clamp's pretty good. That'll last another probably about 3 days, and then we'll open up the clamp. I'm just going to move that black plastic sheet now, and then that's it. Now I've just brought a bit out of the mouldy silage out into daylight so you can have a better look of what it's like. And it's just broken up. There's a white mould crust in there, and it's pretty disgusting. Nothing's going to eat that. So you can see why I've been forking it off. And that's obviously profit down the drain when that goes in, so we try and reduce that. Next year I might try a slightly different strategy of opening the clamp. And we're just going to move that sheet, and then it's time to finish. Well, we've just seen the manky old silage, but here's the cows eating the good stuff. And if we just have a little look in here, you can see they're eating some of the maize I put out in a ring feeder. And they're all tucking into it, they're all loving it.